particular video will dig deep down into Tennessee and talk about some good things Tennessee got going on over there. I like Tennessee. And when I do these particular videos, it's because I like the state. Something about the state moves me. We've had success in the state with multiple and numerous providers, and I want to see others catch on before it's too late, because there is a such thing as too late. So our website is nbhsllc.com. Again, nbhsllc.com. We specialize in licensing and certification of healthcare businesses nationally. That's your nursing home, home care, home health agencies, durable medical equipment supply companies. That's your supported employment agency. We develop probably some 30 plus business models nationally. So you can give us a call also at 800-214-2611. Again, 800-214-2611. Or you can visit that website again, nbhsllc.com. Click on Feature Consults and you can schedule a consultation. How to become a provider in Tennessee. Let's look over here, talk about some of this. I'm going to muddle through this with you. We're going to muddle through this. I'm trying to find some. I had a notepad sitting like right over here, and I guess somebody that took it to, I don't know, write groceries or something on it. I guess it was off. We'll use this right here. There we go. Guess somebody want to use my stuff, huh? Borrow my stuff. Our department, committed to quality service and support of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Qualified and credentialed providers are essential partners in accomplishing our goal of delivering quality services. Below you will find a list of information specifically related to being a provider in our system. This link I'll put at the bottom of the video. If I don't forget, you call me and ask me for it, or call my office and ask my office for it. But I'm going to try to put it down in the video, and there'll be another link as well in the video. Effective February 1st, 2014, DIDD implemented the new provider application policy. And I want to say, and just below that, you can look at that policy. Look at that policy, because there are going to be some twerks, some tweaks, and some twerks and twerks and tweaks of the language and regulations in there that will be applicable to your program. So submission of your program without reading this is going to be, you probably don't want to do that. I'll say that much. Read that policy thoroughly so that you'll understand what's going on as a provider, as a potential provider of services within Tennessee. All DIDD provider applications can be found on our simplified and improved website. I like their website. It truly is friendly. It is the epitome of friendly and simplified, as they say. Let me see here. Let me look. And so the information that I have achieved in having called some of these Tennessee has really shown me that Tennessee and the people that I've spoken to within Tennessee know their stuff. They are aware of the program that they're sitting on, and they're very comfortable and confident in delivering that particular information. Now, DIDD provides application forms for interested providers, potential providers, or applicants. The applicant forums are interactive, informative sessions held prior to the beginning of the open enrollment period, and you must attend these provider meetings. You must attend the provider meeting. Now, typically the information discussed in the provider meeting, they give it to you in advance, and that's where it is right here. The applicant form presentation is available online, and you can actually review that in advance and use that to help clarify some things, draft your questions, write down more questions or generate more questions. But I would suggest that you read this particular link and that information in that PowerPoint presentation to help really develop your questions and help you formulate knowledge about where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, and help you to plan your business model out and help you to plan your full process out. Now, we recommend that you attend an applicant forum prior to submitting a new provider application. I would suggest you do it. Don't do it. You must attend this application. You got to attend. This is a must. I'm telling you, it is a must. It's mandatory. Don't submit that new provider application without coming, because there's always new information being presented. Even though it's coming off of a PowerPoint presentation, there's always new information being presented. There's always questions and people from all around the world that are present in these meetings that are asking some very thought-provoking questions and providing helpful information as well themselves. So don't disrespect that provider meeting by any means necessary. Try to make it. Okay? An overview of the application process looks like this. Applicant obtains the appropriate application from DIDD website. There are multiple applications, okay? So take your time. You need clarity on that. You can call our office. We'll help clarify which application to get. But again, we're a consulting firm and we offer consultations. So it won't be a whole lot of conversation we're going to be giving you on the phone, but we will help clarify a question or two for you. But, keep that in mind when you do call. The applicant completes and submits the application to DIDD. The provider enrollment coordinator submits the qualifying application to the regions for recommendation. Number 4, the applicable regions submit a recommendation to the provider development committee for recommendation. Number 5, the provider development committee submits his recommendation to DIDD commissioner for decision. Okay, and that's a pretty much general flow of things, irrespective of what business model or Medicaid business model or Medicaid program you're trying to come up under. Then that's the general process the application process will take or assume. Now, for detailed information on the application process, please read the Department of Intellectual Developmental Disabilities titled New Provider Application Policy. Please read that. It's a good read. Okay, it's a good read. Here are the business models that we all support, long-term business models, and these are just some of them that we support within Tennessee. In fact, these are the primary ones we support nationally, but they're short quite a bit. Okay, supported employment, respite, medical residential, residential rehab, semi-independent living, in-home day, behavioral respite, personal assistance, supported living, family model, residential support, support coordination, individual transportation for respite, and personal assistance. I love all of them. I say become an agency and do you 2, 3, 4 of those in your agency. That's the direction to go, because if you really look at this, your supported living and your residential habilitation. The residential habilitation is pretty much your group home model where you may own or lease the home, and up to 4 individuals can live in the home, and you provide 24-hour staffing. With supported living, you do not own the home. but yet you're providing the staffing for that particular model. In both of those, you're still providing staffing, right? So how different is that than a private home care agency or doing behavioral respite where you're sending out individuals, sending out staffing, to support an individual in their own home, or respite, okay? Or even supported employment where you're sending staff, you're training an individual and you're sending staff to support this individual, say at Publix or Kroger or Home Depot or Lowe's, to help them, stock that shelf or bag those groceries, and and provide that level of support that they need to get through the day, without any conflict or issues, and to help them learn that process and to come back the next day and do it again so they could learn that process, and that person can ultimately be a productive member of society. So that's the supported employment business model, but they all are so intertwined and so closely related that I would say do one or two. Get you an agency, especially if you're a nurse, healthcare worker. You've been in this industry for some years, making somebody else rich. You understand the business model very well. I say do them both. I say do 3 or 4 of them and make your own self wealthy. Fire your boss. I've done it. I fired a few of them in my lifetime, and I'm done. By the grace of God, I'm done with that thing they call 9 to 5 and clocking in for somebody, making the next person or somebody else rich off of your sweat equity, though, right? Think about it. Open enrollment for long-term services, okay? Open enrollment shall mean a designated period of time determined by DIDD during which entities may apply to become providers. Here are the 2 open enrollment periods, okay? Check it out. They'll announce the session period just prior to the open enrollment, that session date where you go and you hear the information, you can talk to the state. I cannot overstate the importance of going here to these forums, these sessions, which take place just prior to the open enrollment period, so that you can meet individuals, ask the appropriate or relevant questions about the business model or the waiver model that you have in mind, and get the questions asked that you need and answered. Ask them, get a chance to ask the questions you need to have asked, and get the answers that you need. Take somebody with you, record it if they will allow you to. Let me see what else. But just don't negate going, because there's so much information and opportunity, and and meet some friends. Get 5 or 10 people's numbers and talk to them, and exchange information and share information, and don't be selfish, and try not to become, once you become successful, whether you come through us or our agency, or you go somewhere else, or you do it on your own, don't be the selfish person that cares not to pull the next person up or give them information or even refer them to us. We have a lot of clients, they will not even, they use our services nationally, and they've used us for years, but they won't refer people to us because they, for whatever reason, they're selfish, they're scared that somebody is going to open up down the street from them, and there's going to be one less dollar that they get, who knows? The supported employment services located in the long-term service application, keep in mind that, okay? Applicants may apply for supported employment services at any time of the year. However, to aid in a seamless application process, if applying for other services for long-term service applications with supported employment, you are only able to apply during an open enrollment period. Here, look, this right here is a beautiful thing right here. This is probably why many of the providers are tight-lipped out there. You can do multiple services, so you can do an agency off the rip. I mean, with your initial application coming into Tennessee. So that's another beautiful thing about Tennessee right there. that you can do multiple service lines. Some states say, nope, just one. One for your first year. You're stuck with that one. Master that one, get that one right, then come back to us and we'll talk about maybe allowing you to do another service line. Okay, let me sit up. My mom always said, boy, sit up. Pop me on the head. Boy, sit up. Sit up when the people talking to you or you're doing something important. Okay, so new provider application for long-term services. I'm not going to go through all of this because you can go through it on your own, right? I've already brought you here. I've given you the information. New provider initial screening questionnaire for long-term services and for support. Go through this and go through it before you call us, because I know every time we do this, these videos, we get multiple clients. People always, and they call back and they say, look, I've seen you before. We're with you. We'll roll with you. We want to make this happen. But read all this anyway, because when you come to us, we're going to do this together. It's so much information that we can only do so much to support you through the process of licensure, certification. But it is necessary that you have the knowledge, because once we're gone, then, hey, you need to be able to run your own company and keep the wheels turning. All right. Let me see here. New provider application for support coordination. Complete applications must be typed. Hold on, I want to go back for a minute. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put a second link in here because they actually post their rates. They have their rates posted. So I want you to go and see their rates. And I want to say that their rates are good. Another reason. I'm not saying their rates are really great, but they're really good. And they also have what's called negotiated rates, where if that client is up there and you feel that those numbers that they're offering is not the case, then they're open for negotiating those rates. And a lot of times hard to place individuals within Tennessee come with negotiated rates. And they already know that it's necessary. Complete applications must be typed, signed, scanned, and that should be sent. And that should be sent. Well, I guess, I don't know. Maybe who am I? I just had Dr. Frederick Salzman as my English professor. Okay, sent in PDF form to DIDD provider.application@tn.gov. All right, so they're telling you, don't send us no paper. We don't want all this paper piling up on our desk because we don't want to read it anyway. I'm just kidding. Tennessee didn't say that. I'm not trying to say nothing about Tennessee. That just fit really well to go in there right there. If you have questions or need additional information after you've read through the policy, you may contact the Office of Provider Development at blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, DIDD provider.application@tn.gov, or by calling this number. But I do want to say and tell you this much. If you call these people, please have more than one question. Don't be on the phone stuttering and and asking one question. No, I call with 15 questions. All right? 2 of y'all call and get all your information you can, and then go to that provider meeting. Do not disrespect Tennessee in their provider meeting. Do not disrespect Tennessee in their provider meeting. Well, it was something else I had another form. I wanted to read something and share something with you. Okay, no, we'll do it again. One of the most knowledgeable persons down there in Tennessee that I had an opportunity to speak with, her name is Linda. And I want you to, if you see Linda, you tell Linda that somebody named Ernest Flagg just mentioned your name and said that you were one of the most knowledgeable persons out there, and that woman knows her program. Trust me, she knows her program. She knows the programs and can spit that information to you. So be clear with your questions and be ready to write them, and be ready to have a pen and paper ready. These are other ancillary services right here, clinical also, that you could enter. So if you're a nurse, behavioral specialist, behavioral analyst, physical therapist, you can come in, get a provider number, become Medicaid waiver certified, and actually put up your office, brochure, business card, stationery, website, get your commercials going, and you can actually deliver these services. There, you know what? If you're walking around with any of these degrees, there's no way you're supposed to be unemployed and or not living great, because you know what? You can be self-employed. I advocate being self-employed. I love being self-employed. I want everybody to have their own business. I think everybody should. It's the way to go. Long gone are the days where you 9 to 5 until you are 65 and your knees don't work anymore. You're blind in one eye, can't see out the other eye. And then they talk about, oh, you can retire. Retire with what? You got nothing. You got no knees, your back going out, and your hip almost on its way out. There's the notion of owning your own and using your skills and sweat equity to empower yourself and your family to live a different life, another type of life where you don't have to worry about where a dollar is going to come from in the morning. You can use your skills to own your own business. And I don't buy that business ain't for everybody. I believe that we all have some degree of skills in us to run our own business effectively. Skills, resources, and so keep that in mind, that that if you got that fear in you that's stopping you or preventing or paralyzing you, work on that. Pray on it. If you got a bunch of negative folks around you that's preventing you from moving into your vision and preventing you from working your desires and your visions and your mission, you need to get them up out your life. You need to put them just where they need to be, in a box, in a corner somewhere. Excommunicate them from your mindset so that you can move on and do what you've been trying to do for 10 years, for 5 years, for 3 years, because now's the time. Tennessee is open. There's no way. And Tennessee is in great need of quality providers statewide to fall up under this Medicaid waiver program, deliver excellent services to these populations, and help them grow and help the individuals grow, and also help Tennessee grow. So why not you? Why not you? Look at this big old line right here. Applications can be submitted anytime, okay, for these targeted services, the ancillary and the clinical services, and supported employment. They're telling you right there, start right here. If you can, start right here, because they're saying we have a need. We have a need. And also, a little birdie up there told me in Tennessee that their greatest need happens to be in the rural areas of Tennessee. Okay? And specifically told me to stay away, or mentioned to me to stay away from those cities. Those major cities, the major urban cities down there, or those major cities, because they're saturated. My name is Ernest Flagg. That's it. This concludes this particular piece. I'm not talking about no more of this stuff. Look at this. Look at this. This is good information. Here now they're telling you what your application needs to look like for clinical and ancillary services. Hold the credentialing piece right here. You got to read this stuff. It's right here to be read. And this other link I'm going to put on the site is right here. It's how to become a DIDD provider directly off of their website, www.tn.gov/DIDD/providers with an S/provider. And this link will be in the email. Here are the dates right here. Here are the different regions. Here are the different service models. Long-term services, that's the one I was looking at right there. Nursing services right there. You could become an independent individual provider. You could become an agency. It's your choice. All right, visit our website, get a counsel. We help you make that thing happen. We are excellent at what we do. Trust me. We made a lot of people wealthy, rich and wealthy over the last 20 years. It's something that we do. We do very well. Didn't just fall into this industry. I not only went to school for this. That's what my graduate degree is in, public administration. I too am a registered nurse in many states. And you know what? I'm even a registered nurse in Tennessee. I do believe I am. Also, it is 2018. Okay, it is about time for you to swipe that time clock for the very last time, surrender that medication card, and turn in those keys and badges. Okay. Again, my name is Ernest Flagg. Have a good day.